Alrighty then. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy day of all things.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. All right. Let's begin with a greeting. Chonji Chambomanemke Kyungbe. Hello. Jung Mengse. Emily's back.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Father's Day. Please join me in the family pledge. 가정 맹세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상은 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 신정권과 3대 왕권과 왕정권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 전주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Yeah, Mengse Hanaida. Thank you, Emily. All right, I would like to call upon Mr. Michael Thick. If you could lead us in prayer this morning, please.
Join me in prayer. Good morning, our dear Heavenly Parent. True parents in Jesus. All throughout the centuries, you've been trying to restore this people of yours back to God. We know the original standard now through divine principle and all the restoration stages that had to go through. We're very grateful for our true parents who have actually accomplished that. And they've lived by example. So we have the example to follow, and we just pray that we can unite with our true mother still on earth, that we will be able to accomplish what she requires us to do in your stead. So please be with us, even though we're so unworthy. We really know that you try to work through people even if they put a little effort, that the ancestors also really desire this. So please be with each one of us now as we listen to our true Mother's course, and that we will be able to put it into action in our own lives and in our own families. So pray and report in the name of Mike Tomkothik and bless Central Family. Adieu.
아주
Thank you, Michael. All right, everyone, let's go straight into our gratitude groups and be grateful.
yes.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, welcome back.
All right. We were with Mark and Susan Mansell and Mamoyo Miller. It's wonderful. You never know who you're going to meet first thing in the morning on Father's Day. All right. So who would like to share this morning? Susan.
I was telling them that I'm the president of the Southgate Art Association. Today we're having an event, but that's not the main point. The main point of gratitude is, hold on. Okay, I don't know how to, oh, that way. There you go, sideways. Okay. This is the Mother of Peace book. This is my friend. She got the book yesterday. Her name is Norma. She, the artist on this flyer got sick and canceled on us, like on Thursday. So I called this lady Norma, and I said, emergency, I need you to help me, please. And she said, okay, when? And she said, I said, Sunday. She said, oh my God, I'm doing something Sunday. But she said, okay, when is it? In the afternoon. Okay, so yesterday I went to pick up her supplies that she wants to bring today. And I said, I knew that today's the day, yesterday was the day to give her the book. So I saw, oh, and she also attended Mother's speech in the City of Refuge a few years ago. And I've known this lady for 20 years, so it's not like I just met her and gave her the book. This is a long relationship. So I'm really grateful with the way that she received the book. She goes, I was wondering when you were going to give me one, something like that, you know. And I told her, Mrs. Moon wants us to take a picture because she wants to know who's reading her book. And so that's why we have a nice picture, so I can show it to all of you. So I'm really grateful that that happened yesterday. And also I want to say Happy Father's Day to all of you fathers. That's all.
Thank you, Susan. Finally, you gave the book. Well done. Well done. All right. Feels good, huh? Okay. Thank you. Who else is going to share some gratitude with us? Anybody else grateful out there?
Oh,
Melissa.
unmute. Okay, yeah, I'm grateful that we had a youth meeting yesterday, and it happened to be here. And it's a sleepover, so it's really nice that to see the give and take between the young people, and it's just inspiring to have that energy, that boundless energy bouncing around the house. Yeah, and they're all asleep right now. I just went to look, and all the girls are up, 4 girls all in one bed. I peeked in the brother's room. They're like, all, I saw 4 of them. They're like all spread across the living room. It's interesting. It just made me happy.
Nice. Nice. Very nice. Susan Mansell mentioned that she's got 3 grandchildren sleeping in the other room. All granddaughters all sleeping together. That's nice. Okay, I'll share something. Yesterday we had a Sangwa ceremony for Pat Detlefson, who and there were many beautiful testimonies about how she helped people, how she, you know, invested in people and was a very vertical and principled person, and was very strict and very tough with people. If they weren't doing what they were supposed to do, she would call them out on it. And yeah, Pat decided herself to pull the plug. she knew that her life was coming to an end and she had a major operation, and she knew she was going to have a very limited life. So she decided she wanted to leave. And before she left, she called around and called to various people, and she called me, and just to say goodbye. I never experienced that before. Somebody, hey, I'm about to die. See you later. Amazing. It means, you know, she was fearless. She was faithful. So yeah, we had a nice Sangwa ceremony and a luncheon afterwards where lots of testimonies were shared. And then later in the day, we had a gathering of the young couples who were just blessed last time, because their 40 days is now up. 40 days after the blessing. So we had a barbecue meeting at the marina and at the park, and had a nice gathering, and I was able to share with them, you know, make sure you start your love life centered on God and do it right. You know, don't just slip into, you know, having relationships without God. So busy day yesterday. Busy day. And so I'll take it easy. Oh no, I got Sunday service this morning. It never ends.
So grateful.
So grateful. That's what my wife told me. You're so grateful. So I'm so grateful. Okay, that's my sharing, because nobody else is sharing. All right, let's go to our reading. Shall we go to our reading? Okay, let's go to our reading. What's happening, Emily?
Oh, I'm not sharing. Do you see it? Do I not see it?
No, I don't see it.
No, okay. We're
But
working
there
on
it
it.
is. Here it
Thank you
comes.
so much. All
Got it.
right. All right, please join me in reading the Mother of Peace, chapter 2. I came into this world as the only begotten daughter, pages 56 through 60. The Han River Bridge was blown up at 3 a.m. on June 28, 1950. Even though the South Korean government had announced that it would defend Seoul, it served the only link to safety, even before the North Korean People's Army came into the city. Hundreds of people fleeing the city were killed. Amid this desperate crisis, through the help of my uncle, my life and the lives of my family were preserved. At that critical moment, God guided me and protected us from danger. Even today, whenever I cross a bridge over the Han River, I see that blue flash and hear people's agonized screams echoing as if they are still burning in hell. My heart aches at that sound. At a young age, I directly witnessed the horror of war and experienced the wretched life of a refugee. The simple and innocent were killed like flies. Children who had lost their parents were crying and wandering in the streets. I was only 7, but I became so serious that war has to vanish forever from this world. It took place 70 years ago, but my throat still tightens when I recall the night the Han River Bridge fell. Left by my uncle, who had to return to military duty, barely able to keep ourselves in one piece, my grandmother, mother, and I walked and walked on unfamiliar paths heading south. Once in a while, we got a ride in a passing car. Presenting a document as to my uncle's position as a medic, we finally gained shelter in a refugee camp for military families. As the tide of war shifted on September 28th, we returned to Seoul. The South Korean military had driven out the communists and reconstructed a passable bridge across the river. We lodged in an empty house, one that soldiers from the north had occupied, to which the owners did not return. Then the tide of the war turned again. 500,000 communist Chinese troops invaded Korea on the Yalu River. On January 4th, 1951, the South Korean army again abandoned Seoul, and we again had to escape. This time we were able to board a train for the families of soldiers, and we safely arrived in the city of Daegu. The day after day sights and sounds of our year-long wilderness course from the north to the south defy description. I saw countless dead bodies, adults, children, victims of freezing, starvation, disease, and battle. My family and I also teetered on the brink of death, but somehow, throughout this journey for survival, I felt God was with us. There was a greater power protecting our family as we escaped the north and found refuge in the south. Heavenly Parent gave me more than a sense of meaning and value. He provided me with a scale by which to measure the purpose in life, my purpose in life. The way of God's will. By God's hand, on our way to Daegu, we met Jung Sok Chun, a member of the Holy Lord Church, to which my family had belonged in Chosan. He was very pleased to see us, and we all felt as if we were meeting long-lost relatives. The Holy Lord Church was the church in which my parents were married, and Jung Sok Chun's mother, Kim Song-do, was its founder. She was one of many female church leaders in the northern part of Korea whose devotion to Jesus was unparalleled and who had received revelations of what was to come. The Holy Lord Church had withered due to Japanese persecution, and the Communist Party's brutal oppression had put an end to it and all churches in the north. Escaping to the south, Jung Sok Chun continued to worship God. With scattered Holy Lord Church members who had found each other, he created a prayer group in Daegu. He maintained his ardor to accomplish God's will and prepared himself to meet the returning Lord. Ardor. He also worked diligently and had a good livelihood managing mining, rice, and oil businesses. Mr. Jung organized our lodging in Daegu. My mother made a simple request of him. When we were in North Korea, she said, we received much grace through Mrs. Ho Ho Bin, and there were great works. Mr. Jung knew of Reverend Ho, whose congregation had prepared food and clothes for Jesus, as well as for the second coming Lord. As the Lord will return to Korea soon, my mother said to Mr. Jung, please, let us pray very hard to welcome him.
One morning during the Daegu group's intense prayer, my mother received a revelation from heaven. God told her that she had to live a life of greater devotion if she wanted to meet the Lord at the second advent. Prayer alone is not enough, she was told. You have to eat your food uncooked. My mother began to subsist on pine needles, which would have been digestible had they been steamed, but she ate them raw, even though they badly damaged her teeth. My mother had come from a relatively well-to-do family. Her father had owned a large farm, and grandmother Jo had a sewing machine shop, so they were able to pay for my mother and her brother to attend high school. My maternal grandfather always taught my mother, no matter how hard things may be, you must never be indebted to others. Abiding by his words, there in Daegu, my mother opened a small shop, thinking that it would provide enough money to enable her to re-enroll her only daughter in elementary school. Daily subsistence of 2 meals of kimchi broth, raw pine needle tips, and peanuts, plus taking care of her shop, exhausted my mother's physical frame. A normal person would have eased off that discipline, but for my mother, her mind only became clearer. When I saw her serene countenance, while feeling sympathy for her, I could not help but be amazed. How can she run a business while consuming so little? I asked myself. It is nothing less than a miracle. My mother maintained a near starvation diet, and her shop did not bring a profit for 3 months. Most people would have given up, but her faith was deep, and with supreme confidence that she was upholding God's dream, she persevered unconditionally. She did not compromise with reality. With the Holy Spirit, she created her own reality. No matter her plight, my mother surrendered her mind to her search for Jesus at his return. Now, as it began to mature, she added to that the task of providing her daughter a spiritually safe environment. She wanted me to reach maturity in an environment of internal and external purity, and she considered how to separate me as much as possible from the influence of the secular world. I was attending Daegu Elementary School in a neighborhood called Bongseongdong. As time passed, not only my face, but also my bearing became attractive. I was good at my studies, so I soon became popular among my friends, and I was well liked by many adults as well. One afternoon, I was playing alone on the narrow street in front of the shop with my mother inside. A Buddhist monk walked by, and I caught his eye, and he stopped. I returned his gaze, and I remember his piercing eyes. My mother came out and bowed politely to him. Pointing to me, she asked, "Is she your daughter?" Hearing her affirmative answer, his eyes turned warm and deep. As I turned to look at my mother, the holy man spoke. "You live with only one daughter, but don't envy someone who has 10 sons. Please raise her well. This daughter of yours is going to be married at a young age. Her future husband may be older than she is, but he'll be a great man with outstanding ability that transcends the sea, the land, and the skies." My mother took the ascetic's words seriously. Acting on her intention to rear her only daughter in the most serene and secure surroundings, in 1954, my mother moved us to Jeju Island on the southern coast of the Korean peninsula to the town of Sogwi-pok. She wanted to leave the crowded city streets and allow me to mature in the pristine countryside. We spent our first 9 months on Jeju with the family of Jong Sok-jin, the younger brother of our Holy Lord church friend, Jong Sok-chon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Youngju. Thank you, Emily. Beautiful reading. Beautiful story. Mother's story, seeing all those people dying on the Han River Bridge and then barely surviving in South Korea while keeping her mind and body pure. Wonderful. All right. Nice. Let's go to our groups and share about what we learned. Yeah. Eating those pine needles raw. Hmm. My wife offered me raw pine needles for breakfast this morning.
I can get from outside. We have many of them.
Oh, man.
And you feel jolly good, right, Pastor?
What? Well,
Uh-oh.
be grateful.
And
You
you
get,
grateful. All right.
get
All
the
right.
Holy Spirit experience.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
All right, Shirley.
Morning, Pastor and First Lady.
Morning.
Happy Father's Day. Happy day of all things. In regard to the pine needles,
Mm.
can you imagine? The book says that it ruined Damonim's teeth, but what did it do to her stomach?
Exactly.
I mean, I had a stomach ache yesterday. I talked about that just from something simple, but what, yeah, her health was really destroyed. And I wanted to comment on the fact that the Han River Bridge was destroyed at 3 a.m. Ideally, True Mother should have been asleep, but she was awake. Can't imagine my children, my grandchildren being awake at 3 a.m. in the midst of a war. And then I remember hearing father say that God and Satan meet every morning at 3 a.m. And that documents kept the three of them safe. I mean, because they carried the document saying their uncle, brother was in the military, it kept them safe. I mean, we don't deal with that kind of thing. And trains, they had transportation. All this was prepared by God. A document, a train could take them to safety. And then that so many female leaders were leaders of church in North Korea, that God would prepare so many women at that time.
Mm,
So thank you.
yeah, good point.
Mm.
A lot of women leaders. Yep, thank you. Amazing to read the account of Mother's experience, because it makes it much more real what she went through. As you said, stuff that we would never have to experience. All right, thank you, Shirley. Who else would like to share?
Oh, Emily.
Emily?
Good morning.
morning.
Yeah, I was with the Thicks, the Allens, and Momoya-san, and they were kind of sharing their experience with either being in the military personally or their parents. And yeah, like Momoya-san was saying, she was 7 when her parents, or like something, yeah, when the war happened, World War II. Wait. Anyways, but yeah, it made me think about just like True Mother and how young she was, and to have these really, like, she's crossing this bridge and these really loud experiences, and just how your world has changed when you're a 7-year-old, and then you see these things, and then it's like every day she lives now, like I was saying, we live in America and it's so comfortable, you know, it's like you forget that other people experience this reality every day. And my nephew just turned 7, and I took him out to one of those, you know, color me mine. It's like you get your own ceramics, a cup or something, and you paint it. And then anyways, he was just like, he was so happy. He was like this, you know, a 7-year-old. He's like, Auntie Emily, this is the best day ever. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad, good. And he's like, can we get a Slurpee from 7-Eleven? I saw it on YouTube. I really want to try it. It's like 9 p.m. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll go to 7-Eleven. And he's like, this is the best day ever, you know, like, it's just like so happy. And I'm like, I cannot imagine like a 7-year-old like this. I'm like, it so makes me emotional, because it's like, what if that was his reality, you know, like to have these crazy things happen in your life and to see war, you know, and just, yeah, it just made me think like, wow, okay, I'm grateful for, you know, True Mother's memoir and things like this that just helped me to realize like, yeah, I have so much to be grateful for. And sometimes I go to sleep and I think, wow, I'm grateful I don't have to worry, is my house going to get blown up, you know, in the middle of the night, or someone going to come in, you know, like I can go to sleep in peace, you know, it's not even a thought. And I wouldn't have thought like that if I didn't read like Father's autobiography and Mother's memoir. So yeah, just very grateful for these readings. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Slurpee, best day ever. Thank you, Emily. How about Youngji?
Hi, thank you. I really appreciate what Masako-san said about the daimonim fulfilling or restoring Mother Mary's position. I guess I didn't really think about that, the connection. Maybe we could thought, well, maybe it was True Father's mother. It was supposed to be in that restoration, but thinking about it now, it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. You know, she wasn't supposed to have other children. They wouldn't have just True Mother. Wasn't supposed to have a relation with the father, with the husband, Joseph, and so Daimonim was really dedicated to the serving and tending to Messiah. So yeah, think about it. Yeah, Daimonim really did restore Mother Mary's position. And then even today, there's still many people in the world that still kind of look up and have the symbol of like Mother Mary, but really it should be like Daimonim. So yeah, thank you for sharing that insight. And it's a really kind of like, yeah, that's right. That's true. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. And then finally, Walter.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Well, today's Father's Day, and I thought, I'll do a sermon on the value of fathers for children. And when you think about it, most of our children grew up with the benefit of a 2-parent family, which is more valuable than money or more valuable than many things. And if you think about it, many of us, myself included, came from families that were divorced, estranged, violent, abusive, et cetera, et cetera. Nevertheless, our families, blessed by true parents, for the most part, remained intact, which I think we should absolutely be grateful to true father and true mother. True father led us on a fierce course to make sure we would remain intact and tell us how important it was to remain intact. And based on Jesus and the Holy Spirit, we understood that. And based on the foundation of the patriarchs, Abraham and all those saints, Jesus was born. And based on that, God created us as male and female so that we could love each other, raise our families, take care of our children. So on Father's Day, I think we should really be grateful for true father of all people on earth. And of course, true mother. True parents are the ones who led us through this wilderness course and in mostly, for the most part, intact families. I just say we should be grateful for that.
All right, let's be grateful. And let's help our future generations to also make beautiful families and
Mhm.
do even better than us. Yeah, thank you,
That's right.
Walter. Very good. Gabby, were you going to show some pictures?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, from the sunlight yesterday.
What was that?
Who's that?
Yeah, understand, yeah.
That's Pat's two sons,
Mhm.
Annie Calavan, the family. Tasna Bersi came down from Kodiak. Echo Martin from Montana.
Montana. Mhm. Mhm.
Here's the family.
Cute.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mhm.
So there was a glimpse into the Songwa ceremony yesterday for Pat Detlefson. All right. So many people commented about the value of pine needles, nutritious,
Yeah.
but
True.
but that's if you boil them, right?
No, there's enough juice, makes juice.
Right. But you kind of eat them raw.
No, just no juice make an raw. Raw. Yes, somebody asked, Dr. Young was traveling 50 states. Actually, somebody sent us, please make a pine noodle, what's that?
Pine needle.
Pine needle to make a juice. Yeah.
We have lots of pine needle near Pasadena House. I should send some to everybody. try it out.
Actually, I tried. What wasn't so bad. Mix with something as fruits. It's a lot of antioxidant and vitamin C.
Yeah, I'm sure it's healthy, but eating them raw is probably very hard.
Pine needles, not pine noodles. No noodles. Only needles.
We can make a noodle.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Sunday, please attend your church and have a great day. I'd like to ask Tomoko Thick if you could close us in prayer, please. Soon as you, yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Dearest Heavenly Parent, true parent, we're so grateful every morning we gather here as brothers and sisters. We are reading True Mother's Memoir every day. We really appreciate True Mother guiding us still on the earth, and also True Mother really received so much persecution, even though early age, but already 3 generations, grandmother and the mother protect her, and also she always tried to connect with the heavy parent. Heavy parent protect her whole life, and then now last moment, God, the providence was almost close to end. So we really unite with the true mother's heart and the desire and the wish, and we really unite working together, and also now whole the world and the change and the new leadership. The Special America is already Leben Demian Dunkley. He really unites with the True Mother, and we really want to, and the spirit and the hope and the truth, True Mother really encourage. And also Chuan Xin Moon is like a central. That's why we really pray and unite, and we really receive from your guidance, and we can start to go forward. Today, the new day and the new beginning, and also Sunday, we really work, unite with all our leaders, and we can make new revolution, and we can change this America change. I really appreciate this morning devotion with brothers and sisters, centering Levin Thompson and Mrs. Thompson. We really appreciate you guiding us this whole morning devotion. I offer this prayer in the name Mike Tomokosik, bless your family. Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you, Tomoko-san. All right, go and have your pine needle breakfast, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. God bless you.
Thank you, everybody. Wonderful day. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Happy Father's Day.